Hi there, Scioto County Daily News. This is Evan Green. Today I am here with Stacy Brooks, who is currently running for 4th District Court of Appeals in Ohio, which does cover Scioto County. We recently did an interview with the other person running, Christy Wilkin. So now we're going to be speaking with Stacy to discuss some of her beliefs and some of her positions as a candidate. So to start off, Stacy, I'd like to hear a little bit about your past work experience and how you think that has qualified you for the position of 4th District Court of Appeals judge.
Sure. Well, thanks for having me, Evan, and for taking the time to ask some questions. I think it's really important that, folks understand what judicial campaigns and candidates are about. It's often a very overlooked piece of the ballot when you get down to it. So I think it's important to, get the message out to people about what these campaigns are. So yeah, my experience and my background, I started working my legal career with Southeastern Ohio Legal Services. Very rewarding thing to do. So here in Chillicothe is where I started. I also worked in the Lancaster area. In Hocking and Fairfield counties. And when I was here in Chillicothe, I was all over Jackson, Vinton, Athens, lots of the counties in the Southeast, in the 4th District in Southeastern Ohio. So I was able to get a really good baseline for my career. I worked on legislative issues. I worked on lots of appeals. I worked on an appeal that went to the Supreme Court. And really got to help people. That's what it was about for me. And that's what most of my legal career has been about. So after legal aid, I went out on my own. I started my own small business, a law firm here in Chillicothe. I still did work in a lot of the counties in the area. And then later I merged that firm with the law firm Seif and McNamee, which is a firm out of Waverly, Ohio. We also have an office here in Chillicothe. I'm the solicitor for the Village of Beaver. So I've done that for about 4 or 5 years. I've also been an educator. I think that's important when you are thinking about electing a judge, somebody that can communicate, can educate the public. And I've also been a union president. I've been a mentor. I've been a board member. So my experience in the community is really important because, I work really hard at my job, but I also work really hard for my community. And I think that's the kind of work ethic that I'm going to take to the bench.
Okay, so what is it that motivated you to run for this specific position?
Sure. I've wanted to advance my career for a while and find a way to get back to public service. So this type of position really allows me to have an impact on a lot of folks. So right now, I feel like I help people every day, representing children, families, grandparents. I've been on both sides of many issues. So landlords, tenants, banks, consumers, it doesn't matter. And I carry the same kind of empathy with me no matter who my clients are. So that combined with my commitment and dedication to my community and public service really pushed me to want to be in a position like this. And I'll tell you, the other thing I was talking about before about people not paying attention necessarily to judicial campaigns, sometimes it's because people don't realize what the judges do. So we have, at this level, the appeals court level, it's reviewing decisions. It's not a lot of what people might see on TV or when you have an experience in court necessarily. If you go to your local judge who you might know in the community, this is something where it's a bigger territory. You're less likely to run into the judges who sit on the 4th District Court of Appeals. And it's more of reviewing transcripts, researching, looking for errors in the law, doing that analysis, and then really formulating an opinion and being able to articulate what that opinion is. And so I really enjoy research and writing. I enjoy that process. And when I've been working on appeals in the past, that's something that I've really enjoyed. So my hope is to bring those skills, my passion to the bench. And that's why I decided to run.
And what do you hope to accomplish if you were to win the election?
Well, I think it's important that our courts have a wide range of voices and perspectives. So bringing my unique perspective, I'm a mom, I'm a I'm a wife. I am married to an elected official. He's the mayor of Chillicothe, Luke Feeney. We've made Chillicothe our home. We've lived here over 14 years. The career that I've had and my dedication to public service, I'm going to give everyone a fair shot. So if I'm on the bench, not only am I going to apply the law and apply the facts the right way, but I'm going to give everyone that comes before me a fair shot and let the public know that they can have confidence in the court, because I think that's really important. We look at our institutions right now, and a lot of people are feeling like, well, where can I go to trust what's going on? And our courts should really be that place. So that's what I hope to bring to the 4th District and to the people in Scioto County for sure.
So it's my understanding that you consider yourself a judge with more liberal beliefs compared to some others. So how would you say that impacts your judging in general?
Well, I'm not a current judge, just to be clear. And what I want to say about that is, as I said, unique perspective. So I'm a mom, I'm a wife, I've had different life experiences than maybe some of the judges on the bench, or even my career might be different than some of the judges who are on the bench. I think that's important for people to get a fair shot when they go to the courts. So I would never put myself out there as, a certain type of judge for one type of people. That's absolutely not what the court should be about. So for me, just because I'm a mom and I'm a wife, if I went to say, I'm going to be the judge that is for moms and for, wives, how would dads and fathers feel about coming before me? So I'm not gonna, every judge has their own human personal experiences, and you bring that to the bench. But when you're there, you are a judge for everybody, and you're supposed to be independent. The judicial canons of ethics that lead judges and lead candidates who want to be judges, the very first rule, and it's one sentence basically, that says you will uphold and promote the integrity, the independence, and the impartiality of the court. That's so important, or it wouldn't be the first rule. So that's what I hold dear. I have a passion for law. It's my career. It's what I do. So I'm going to bring that passion to the bench, and I'm going to uphold those rules. So no matter what my personal stance on something might be, which I'm happy to have a discussion about, but really judges aren't supposed to say for or against this policy, because, if that case ever came before you, you'd have to say, I've already made a public opinion about that. I can't give it a fair consideration, so I can't decide. And that's when judges have to recuse themselves. So for me, my background, my experiences are what they are, but when I'm judge, everybody, again, will get a fair shot.
That's a very interesting perspective that you don't get to hear a lot from political candidates.
Well, and that's why, when people don't vote in judicial races sometimes and they don't have enough information, I think that comes from people not seeing the D or the R behind somebody's name. Once you get through the primary in a judicial campaign, that's supposed to kind of go away. It's supposed to be a nonpartisan race. And so for some people, that's the shortcut they use when they're voting, and that's totally fine. But for judges and judicial races, that's, that drops off for a good reason. And so I want people to understand what I'm about as a candidate and what this race is about and what the court is about, so they can make an informed decision, not based on politics.
Okay. So for the people of Scioto County who will be voting for you this November, how will this appointment affect them one way or the other?
Well, again, I think you want good judges on the bench. You want people who are going to look at cases fairly, look at the law, make good decisions, and be able to communicate that to the public so that people understand what the law is. This court is important because for most people, and for the people in Scioto County in the 4th District, this may be the last stop for you. The Supreme Court doesn't hear every case that comes before it. So the appellate level, is kind of the real checks and balance on what the lower courts are doing. So you wouldn't want to be in Scioto County getting one kind of decision in a case and somebody in Lawrence County getting a very different decision. You want the court to bring everybody together to understand what the law is and make it fair.
Okay, now if you were speaking to someone who planned on voting for your political opposition, what would you try to say to them in order to sway them to vote for you?
What I would want people to look at is my experience, my dedication to the community, what I can bring to the bench. So, I have a wide range of experiences. And like I said, I've been on both sides of a lot of issues. I've worked on appeals, and I'm in this to help people. My background, I spend a lot of time in my community. Whether it's my church council, YMCA boards, lots of things that my husband and I do that make us really dedicated and proud of our community. And that's why I want to do this. So, if it's important that somebody is independent and has that integrity and will uphold the impartiality of the court, then I think I'm that person. And I really hope that people consider that when they're voting.
Now, how has the coronavirus impacted your ability to campaign over these last couple months?
You're seeing it right now, right? I've been traveling, I've been meeting with folks in small groups and doing it outside and safely. It's very different. I think people are feeling that all around. And what I want to say to people is that, when they're actually even paying attention to this kind of an interview, that's remarkable because there's so much else going on in the world. People getting back to school, getting back to work, taking care of loved ones. And it's really hard to carry that load all the time. So the fact that people are even, maybe watching this and considering who should I vote for is really important. And I just want to thank people for doing that. I want to recognize that whatever you have going on, there's so much stress, but it is an important election year. And, elections are important and we should care about our community. We should care about that duty. And so with everything going on, if people can take the time to really think about it, I thank them for doing that no matter how they're going to vote. I just think it's really important.
And finally, I like to ask all of my political candidates that I get the opportunity to interview this question. If you were to boil down your campaign into one word, what would it be?
I've said it a few times already probably, but integrity. I think it's really important that not only our judges and our judicial folks in the judiciary, but all of our candidates, people we put into office, having integrity and respect for the office and respect that the public, you work for the public. This isn't a job about me. The public is my boss if I'm elected. And I think, holding that office, the integrity of the office is really important. And the court, having people have faith in our systems and have faith in our judicial system is really important because I can believe in it all I want. It's one thing for me to, instill that confidence in my clients and, really try to empower them when they're in a difficult situation. But to be able to do that and make sure the public, holds that same confidence in the office, I think you can boil that down to integrity.
Okay, well, that's all the questions I have for you. Thank you so much for speaking with me today. This has been a great interview.
Great, Evan. Thank you for talking with me. I appreciate it. Be safe.
Okay, I'll try. Until
All
next
right.
time, Scioto County Daily News, this is Evan Green signing out.